While analysts issued dismal forecasts about the job prospects for South African school leavers, the local ICT sector is desperately seeking enthusiastic young people to join its ranks. Key players are using this gap to recruit and skill young people to enter the ICT workforce. And Alfie Hamid, who's the Cisco Regional Manager for Corporate Affairs for sub-Saharan Africa, joins me to tell us more about some of the training options for potential ICT professionals. Alfie, thank you so much for making the time to join us today.
Thank you.
But before we talk about the training that's available for these young school leavers, maybe you can give us a bit of an overview of how big a challenge or how big of a dilemma is it when it comes to the skills that we need in the ICT sector?
So let's look at the skill shortage. We have a shortage of over 40 to 70,000 ICT professionals in the country. And then we compare that. Let's look at the metric results for 2013. Less than 1% of our metric students did IT as a subject, and that's about 4,000, right? So where's the rest, the 36,000 going to come from? That's the dire situation that we face at the moment. The major challenge being that there's less than 5% of our schools nationally offer IT as a subject. And the majority of the schools, we find that they are in your advantaged communities. So, there's this barrier of entry for the majority of our children, and they cannot afford the school fees to go to those schools, right? So if we're looking at filling those gaps, and we're looking at black economic empowerment, and we want to have as many of our black children filling those high posts in the ICT sector, where are they going to come from, right? They're not going to these schools. So we've got to find a way of taking these ICT skills to those disadvantaged communities so that we can have more and more of our ICT professionals coming from disadvantaged communities.
So tell us, how do you come in? Do you target specifically school leavers? Is there a minimum requirement in order to be part of this enrollment?
So what Cisco has, it's what's known as the Cisco Networking Academy program. And this is where we partner with schools, colleges, universities, and NGOs to see how they can offer advanced ICT skills to communities who out of the ordinary would not have access to it. Right, so we've got, for example, a partnership with the Basic Education Training, where we're taking the Networking Academy program and putting it into your ICT resource centers. This is a partnership together with Vodacom. Then Cisco has a partnership together with the FET colleges, with the Department of Communications, where the Academy program is being introduced at your FET colleges. There's 21 at the moment. And those children who are coming out of the FET colleges now will come out of the FET certificate plus a industry recognized certification in networking.
I was about to ask you that, because a lot of people, when you say the FET colleges, versus a university, when it comes to being able to compete in the job market, do they have a competitive advantage? Are they equipped enough in order to to go into those roles and do a good job?
So it depends what kind of qualifications you're coming out with, right? If we look at the students that have access to the Networking Academy program, in addition to the NCV qualification that they get, they're also coming out with a CCNA certificate, which is recognized worldwide. So it's not only recognized in South Africa, it's a qualification which they can take anywhere in the world, which makes them immediately employable. You look at the shortage of those skills, so we have at the moment a shortage of almost 50,000 networking professionals. I'm proud to say that over 90% of the students that come out of the program each year are employed. Each year, via our Cisco program, there's over 9,000 IT students that come out of the program. That's your academies that are founded, your NGOs, your schools, FET colleges, and universities. So yes, coming back to your question, they are employable if they've gone through that program.
Oh, thank you so much, Alfie, on that. We'll definitely be looking out to see if we'll be getting more skilled, employees going into the job market. That was Alfie Hamid from Cisco.